what's contributing to that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of reps in practice of very intense defense. I think the red team's done a great job of preparing us of just the physicality and the intensity of Big East play, and so I think that the coaches have done a great job of preparing me for that as well, and then also just being confident with the basketball, and knowing kind of where my spots are and where other guys' spots are. I think has kind of allowed us to have a good assist-to-turn ratio individually and then as a team as well.
UConn is going to try to put that upside down. They're really physical.
Yep.
All allows you to make your call it every play. Like, how are you approaching the game where you're going to be dealing with things that maybe aren't in your control?
Yeah, I think a great thing for that is obviously that our defense can help our offense in a lot of ways. That if we can get stops and get the rebounds and secure it, I think that we'll be able to, kind of keep the tempo the way that we like it, and then I think that'll allow us to kind of continue some more of our motion offense, which I think we saw at times just the other night against St. John's, that when we were able to get the rebound and run, they're not able to set up their press, and then it allows us just to play a different style of basketball. So I think a lot of those same things will be keys, as we head on the road against UConn.
You guys won despite not making a three the entire second half. What's the conversation like in the huddle when the shots aren't dropping, or what's coach telling you or not telling you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at halftime in the huddles, there was a lot of just, we're going to keep taking the shots that are best for the team. And in the second half, we didn't have a three fall, but, we took some that were really good looks. And then at the same time, I think that this team is mature enough and we're seeing ways that we can score and defend, even differently than maybe we thought early on in the season, which is, something that I think that is just only going to keep allowing us to be better and better throughout the season. And so the message is continue to shoot, but then also find the highest percentage shot possible. And sometimes that's at the free throw line. Sometimes that's, layups or mid-range jumpers.
I think Mac and Ryan had talked about it on Saturday, but how big was Saturday for you guys to win in the way you did, not hitting a three, and just kind of be able to see that we don't have to hit a three to be able to win it?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. I think as a team we're confident that we can win a game no matter what it takes. I think sometimes it's more of an outside perspective, like, oh, they finally won a game without hitting a three. But, we're a team that we're gonna try to score more points than the other team, whether that's twos, threes, whatever. And I think that it actually really starts defensively. I think that, there was that time when we were down 9 and we really dug in defensively, which allowed us to get back into the flow and the rhythm that we want to offensively.
You mentioned defense. You've become much more comfortable / aggressive on the defensive end. Was it difficult at the beginning, like coupling the offensive side of the game, the new defensive scheme? You seem more comfortable globally now than you were.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it takes time to become accustomed to things, and then also conference play versus non-conference play is different. So then there's adjustment, whether it's a new system or not. And so I think that the coaches have done a great job, and also my teammates, just instilling that confidence in me on both ends of the ball. That, hey, you can get after this guy on defense, and, hey, you can do this on offense. And also not only can you do this, but we want you to do it. And I think that that's a message that any player loves to hear, and I think has, helped me feel that much more comfortable on both ends of the floor, and I think that it's paying, big dividends for us.
You guys have got off to really good starts in the two hostile environments you played in, Nebraska and Marquette. What's the key to doing it now?
Yeah, I think that it's the keys are taking good shots early, getting stops early, and then finding the ways that we can, attack them in any mismatch or anything that we can get. And I think that at Marquette and in Nebraska, we were able to really have a solid game plan, and the coaches always do a great job of having us prepared for those types of moments. And so, when it comes down to crunch time and starting the game off in a positive way, I think it's going to come down to a lot of making sure that we're tight with the ball, secure with the ball, and then taking great shots on the offensive end, and then the defense will be there as well.
Stephen, what's it like getting the chance to go and play the number one team?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's why I came here. I wanted to be able to play in big-time games, and in the Big East, I knew there was going to be a lot of them, and playing top 10 games, top 5 games, and now it's the number one ranked team in the country. It's a fun opportunity, and can't wait to go and play Creighton basketball.
I know you saw the excitement last week in Lincoln after they upset the number one. I mean, what would that mean for you to kind of generate that kind of excitement around here?
Yeah, I think it would definitely be exciting. I hope that the Blue Jay fans are already excited. I don't think that we need to go out and prove, something that I think we've proven who we are, and I know that we're a very high caliber team, and that we can, play with anybody in the country, and it's going to be a real good test on Wednesday. We'll really see where we're at, and at the end of the day, it's Big East basketball, so can't wait.
Where do you fall on road trips? Like road trips? Just hate them?
No, I like a good road trip. This one will be a little bit longer because we're on the East Coast for back-to-back games, and so. But I mean, traveling with the guys, playing cards, little magic tricks from my man Fred King. We have a good time, and so it's nice traveling with the guys, and then gotta shout out Ryan Kalkbrenner, great roommate.
He does them, or you do them, the magic tricks?
Oh, I get Fred on them. Yeah, I got a few magic tricks up my sleeve, so I just try to impress my guy Fred. He hasn't figured them out. I think Jason Green's on to me. He sits next to me, and so he was like, "Oh, I think I saw that," and I was like, "Don't tell Fred." So.
Talking cards or like disappearing or what?
Yeah, talking cards. A little mind reading about what his card is, type of stuff like that. So we'll see if he catches on. Maybe when you guys ask him in his next interview if he's figured any of them out.
Francisco, I kind of asked Steve the same thing. What's it going to be like to play the number 1 team in the country?
I think it's a great opportunity. We're really motivated by it. Not every day you can play the number 1 team in the country at their place, so we're going to start working on them today and give our best shot on Wednesday.
Creighton, Nebraska, and Marquette games, those are the 2 hostile environments that you've been in so far. Got to good starts in both of those games. Why do you think that was?
Sorry?
Why do you think you guys got out to good starts in both of those games despite the hostile environments you're facing?
That's why you come and play college basketball. I think like playing in front of that many people and either in the stadium and watching at home kind of motivates you. Like a lot of energy. You can feel the energies in the building. So hopefully we can have another great start on Wednesday.
A lot of conversation in the last week has been about winning ugly and winning despite not shooting well beyond the 3. What do you think that's done for your team, and how has it allowed you to kind of find other ways to win?
Yeah, it's all about learning experiences, kind of build momentum. We early in the season, like when we didn't make a shot, like it kind of drag us down a little bit as a team. We will get a little frustrated, but like over the last few games where the ball didn't go in as planned, and we just stick together. The other day we were down 9 in the second half at one point. Stay together, stay cold-minded, and we were lucky enough to win the game.
What makes UConn difficult to defend?
They run a million sets, first of all, and all of their players are elite players. There is a reason why they're a national championship. They're defending national champions. They lost some pieces, but they found some good replacements to them. So, as I said before, we're going to start preparing for them today.
2 more.
What do you make of the impact that you've made that maybe doesn't show up in the stat sheet and just allowing your team to function?
Yeah, I always say the same thing. I always try to bring whatever the team is missing at the moment. Of course, coming off the bench, it's easier to see from the outside than it is from the inside. So I sit next to Coach Murph the whole game, and I kind of ask him like what he's thinking and what should I bring to the team, and that's what I try to do.
Well, I don't think we'll get to talk to you guys before Seton Hall. I think they're probably the latest example of how deep this league is. From last year to this year, can you talk about how deep the league is?
Yeah, there is no bad teams in the Big East. That's why, even like the last few years in March Madness, there's always a Big East team making a good run. And as I said before, like there's no bad teams, and you always got to approach it the same way to everybody, because like it's this year especially is full of surprises.
Obviously, the big thing with UConn is how they've been able to manage things without him. It sounds like he's progressing. Like, how do you game plan for who they've become without him and the potential of him possibly having some kind of role?
Yeah, we have obviously plenty of film with him playing, so we have an idea. And really, when Sampson's in the game, what they do is similar to when Klingon's in the game. But the fact that Klingon's missed 5 games, Castle missed 5 games earlier, and they're still ranked number 1 in the country, I think speaks to their depth and what a good job Danny's done with this team.
The obvious struggles and hurdles you have to have when Caravan, they've been playing Caravan at 5 a little bit. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a whole different team, and they play differently offensively with that group, and also defensively. But we've got to try to attack that group in the paint because they're going to be really hard to guard on the other end of the floor.
Back, what do you tell your team before you go play the number 1 team in the country on the road?
I mean, so they were going to be number 2 or 3 if they weren't number 1. I mean, playing at UConn's a hard place to play. It's they've got a great fan base, much like we do. They're very passionate about their team, and they're coming off a national championship. So it's not going to be an easy task, but our guys will be ready.
Asked Stephen Bello, two hostile environments you played in so far, Nebraska and Marquette, you got to really good starts to those games. Why? And what do you think the key is to doing in that game?
Well, we made shots to start both those games. We hit some threes at Nebraska and hit a couple early against Marquette, and we defended well. You don't stretch out to a lead unless you're guarding. And, as I talked about after the game the other day, defense and rebounding has to travel, and that gives you a chance. And, like St. John's, UConn is going to chase it on the offensive glass. They're very physical. They'll send a lot of guys there. If you can get the rebound, you have some opportunities in transition, but you have to figure out a way to get that rebound first.
Coach, when the shots aren't falling, what's the conversation with the team in the huddle? Do you just kind of let them take the shot?
Keep on shooting. Yeah, as long as they're good shots. We're not going to turn down a good shot. You can't. The defenses are too good in this league. If you turn down a good one, you might not get as good a shot anywhere in that same possession. So, when we have the right guys taking the right shots, we have confidence that they'll make them.
With the amount of stuff that they do, how much of a factor is the communication early, and getting organized early going to be, so that way it's coming?
Well, you have to stop the transition first. They come at you pretty fast, and they, Caravan and Spencer in particular, Newton maybe to a lesser extent, but still, they'll take threes in transition, and you have to get back and get it put together. And obviously, transition threes really energize a crowd. So our ability to get back and stop the first wave is really, really important. But this is a very good, very talented basketball team, very efficient basketball team. So we're going to have our hands full.
How excited are you to get into the high 20s, low 30s in terms of temperature?
Yeah. It's 10 degrees warmer today than yesterday, so we're moving the right direction, but it's been a bit of a chilly weekend.